So, welcome to the first official podcast. Right now, calling it At Home with Griff. I'm going to change the name, maybe. But I'm sitting here with Jake Clayton, Rob Daniels. So, talk a little bit about what y'all do.
Well, my name is Jake Clayton. I am a multi-instrumentalist and a vocalist.
My name is Rob Daniels. I am somewhat of a guitar player, and I produce music and make videos sometimes and do all kinds of shit like that.
So what made y'all want to get into music? What drew you to it?
For me, my parents were both singers. They worked for like Holiday Inn and hotel circuits and stuff like that, going around. They used to do karaoke before it was karaoke. So music has kind of been in my life pretty much my whole life. And when I saw Garth Brooks live in Central Park in 1997, that cemented that music is what I was going to do for a living. So that's my story.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always just loved music. I remember as a kid, just, around the house would just be singing songs and doing all that. And then, there was a local band in my town, and this was back in the 80s, 90s, with the Guitar Gods and all that. And I would go as a kid and watch this band practice, and they had the long hair and, looked like rock stars. And it kind of blew me away to sit right in front of it, and it made me want to start playing guitar. So I started playing guitar, and that was the road to the misery that I live today.
I hear that, you said karaoke. That's a Japanese word.
That's what I've heard.
It's apparently the definition is what, musical or instrumentless orchestra. It's something orchestra. I remember that, but I could be wrong. I heard it through the internet. So we all know the internet doesn't lie to you ever. No. Okay, so what is your you said you play a lot of strings, all the strings. What's your favorite?
The fiddle, the violin is definitely my favorite instrument. It's been around for, in its present form for about 400, close to 500 years.
Really?
It's an amazing instrument. There's more violins in the world than anything else. There's violins in closets, attics, basements. They're all over the place.
Right.
It's by far my favorite. It sounds the most like the human voice, and it's the one that really jumped out to me first. Again, that was watching the Garth Brooks live in Central Park. His fiddle player, Jimmy Mattingly, just absolutely captivated me as a child on TV. So, fiddle for sure.
Rob, are you kind of guitar or?
Well, I mean, I've been playing guitar all my life, so I definitely have some kind of passion for it. But yeah, what I've noticed, like he loves the fiddle, and man, the fiddle really does get people going. If you're in a club or a bar and somebody just starts throwing down on the fiddle, people love that.
I feel like it's kind of like thrash metal, but for country people.
Oh,
right. It's like that's what you throw down. Like that's if you were gonna mosh pit at a country show, that's what it would be too.
Yeah, especially if Jake Clayton's playing.
I've showed a lot of people, especially the Sturgis video, and dude, people don't believe I actually even know you, like much less work with you and stuff. But they're like, you don't know this guy. And I'm like. I was like, I'll make sure to tell him that y'all think he's that good, that I'm way this far down and he's way up here where I don't even know the guy. But, yeah. And, I mean, it's very lucky that I did actually meet y'all. And the way I met you is a funny story. But, the G-rated version is... We just both happened to be downtown and run into each other. It's kind of what happened. But, on Broadway in Nashville. And it was, things worked out. We've finally been working together over a year now.
Which does not seem like it's been a year for sure.
Because we were just talking about that. I think me and you were talking about it a few months ago. And it was like, have we really only known each other for like, a few months, whatever? And it's like, dude, it feels like, because we've done so much, you know?
It definitely seems like we've known each other longer.
Yeah, that's when you have that connection with people, when you've, been around them for about a month and you seem like you've known them your whole life, but at the same time, seem like you've only known them for a couple weeks, but it's been a year already.
I think too, though, it's probably a lot to do with like when we were together. I was there like for like days at a time, and it wasn't just like a day here, a day there, and then I started canceling every single plan that I made and never showing up to anything. But
I'm used to that.
Hopefully that chapter's over. I just kind of, man, for a while I'd hit a brick wall. Like I just had to go on like a sabbatical and take a break. Unlike you, which I brought you up in conversation the other day. Some guy's like, man, I couldn't imagine playing, a 2-hour, 3-hour set. And I'm like, I know a dude that goes down on Broadway in Nashville and does like 12 hours like in a day.
Yeah, straight. Yeah. No breaks.
No, sometimes you get a little, sandwich from Jack's Barbecue, something like that, or maybe you can order some cheese curds from the bar or something like that. But, I've always said this, like, a lot of other people on stage, like the pretty hot chick singer, she can, be, grabbing a snack or something while she's singing, something like that. Everybody can do that. The drummer can have chicken fingers, but, the fat guy up front cannot be eating chicken fingers while he's playing. So it's like you have to be very careful. And sometimes when you go down there and play for 12 hours, you're just kind of like, well.
I remember
he's got to sneak chicken fingers in while he's turned around.
Like
then he turns back around. He's got barbecue sauce on his face.
Ranch, thank you.
Yeah, okay, ranch.
I remember seeing this one video of you, and I think you had showed it to me, and you were like propped up. I won't say the place. I guess that's up to you if you ever want to name places, whatever. Sure. But obviously, I'm not promoting it because. But and you were just like hung up, like you had your arm propped up, like on what was it on the wall?
Well, it's a guitar hanger that's on the wall.
Okay.
And there's also a fiddle hanger that's there on the wall. And sometimes it can be the fiddle player hanger.
Yeah, they're Jake hangers.
Yeah. Well, that's Jake hangers. That's when I saw that, it was like just looking at like your expressions is just like, and I know you probably didn't feel this way. You might, but I mean you should, I guess. But it was just like, I don't even have to be doing this. Like, what are these people doing? It's like, I'm basically like half asleep right now and I'm doing better than everyone else. Like, but it was
existing.
And then the second I saw that clip, I thought about like all the times I'd been there and just like basically like nodding out in the corner because I was on a bender or something. And
yeah. Well, you have to be careful with things like that. I saw some videos of myself, so I've really been conscious about putting my arm up there because it is one of those things. Like when you play and you've already done 8 hours playing in front of people and they're requesting stuff, it's like you don't remember. Have you played Baton Rouge like 6 times today, or is this the 7th? Like somebody says, Devil Went Down to Georgia. Like, did we do that 5 minutes ago or was it an hour ago? You just get into this haze, and sometimes it's one of those, like this particular place, like that's right there. It just kind of becomes a crutch.
I wonder if the people in the audience think the same thing though, because they're going from bar to bar and kind of hearing the same songs. Yeah. I just wonder, like after about the 7th or 8th bar, they're like, God, how many times have we heard this song?
Well, we are a request town.
Yeah, so keep requesting the same song over and over. Yeah.
That's something I've noticed too. There's always, and then dude, one huge thing that I'll never miss about my whole time like that I spent downtown was the Woo girls. All of them out of towners, they'd buy them cowgirl hats or pink cowgirl house or whatever. And I think I said pink cowgirl house, but hats. And I mean, they get in there, and we've all seen it. Downtown Nashville, like, people just pound drinks until they're just like, woo to 911.
Very quickly. Yeah, we see all the time at these places. You'll be playing, and you have the bird's eye view of the crowd. And it's not just Nashville, but anywhere you play, you'll see somebody that comes in. They'll sit down, and it's usually somebody over 55, and they'll sit down and they'll have like 4 or 5 drinks in one seating.
Yeah.
And then they'll get up to use the bathroom, and as soon as they stand up, they just fall flat over right on the floor.
I mean, I'm the last person to talk bad about those people.
Well, it's not bad. It's just, sometimes people just, go to places and they just party and, it's kind of like being on a cruise. They just go nuts.
That was, and I'm not going to mention which song was written about this night, but this was like a day or two before I'd met you. And that's the terrible thing about drinking carbonated things is the burping. Anyway, it was one night, waited like 40 minutes to an hour for a seat, where, and this girl comes around. I think they were swingers or something, but this girl comes around and she you're the bar, right? So I'm sitting at the bar and I'm just drinking my beer. I'm just happy to have a seat, man. I'm just, I mean, it don't matter how bad I need to go to the bathroom or get up to do anything, whatever. I'm not leaving my seat. I waited so long for it, I had to wait till another dude got kicked out before I could take this seat, And this
3 minutes.
No, I wish. But anyway, this hair starts coming over my shoulders, and I'm like, that's not mine. And I was there with a friend, and I'm looking, I'm just like of course I had a beer, and I was just like, and he's looking at me, he's like, it's like whatever, and I start I'm like getting bumped around and stuff, and I was like, damn, somebody's playing like human bumper cars with me right now. It's like, I don't want to play. I'm here to drink, I don't want to play with you. Like, go away. But then I turned around and finally saw her. I was like, oh, I've changed my mind. So it was the weirdest thing. It's never happened before like this. However, something weirder happened the next night. But this girl, like I start turning around, she spins me around and starts like twerking on me and stuff, and like, doing all this gyrating whatever stuff on me. And then I was so drunk, it just, I was like, hey, do you want to make out? She's like,
It's
she was like that level. I mean, I think we were all on that level of drunk, but she just did that thing, and I was like, all right, hell yeah. And we go like this. She totally just like mouthed my nose. Just like doing that, and I was like, that's not my mouth. And trying to tell her. And then like she danced on my friend and stuff like that. And then the next night, that was even weirder. It was a mother and daughter. And I told you about this. But the daughter comes in. The mother is trying to set her daughter up with, like a country boy, like somebody like that. She's like, you a country boy? And I'm like, sure. It's like, what do I get if I say yes? So I can be I can be anything. I can be from any country, any profession, whatever you need me to say right now. So anyway, I made out with the mother. Then she goes and gets her daughter. I make out with the daughter. And then she's like, all right, are you good, sweetie? To her daughter. She's like, yeah. And they left. And they just kept going bar hopping. I was like, I kind of feel used. But I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, it's almost like sounds like she was teaching her daughter or something.
Dude,
yeah,
that's a porno I'd like to see.
I'm sure it's been made.
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
There might be several variations.
Yeah, I was going to say volume 73.
Yeah.
If there's a video of me on any of those sites, cut the check. You owe me some money. My lips ain't free. I almost ripped them off today. I got a cigarette stuck in them because like I'd held it in my mouth for so long. That's what she said. And anyway, I can't help it. That's also what she said. But and when I pulled it, I was gonna say when I pulled it out. I'm done with the that's what she said. Anyway, when I pulled the cigarette out of my mouth, I saw like a big chunk on it. I was like, that's my lips, And then I like felt down. I was like, yeah, I'm bleeding out. And I'm pretty sure the girl at the gas station noticed. She was like looking at me like, are you okay? Like, did you just get beat up or something? I was like, not today I didn't get beat up, but like last weekend, yeah. But I was like, hey, that was years ago. Like,
leave me alone, lady.
It's like, I did this to myself because I'm that hard, but it was like, no, I was just having a fucking anxiety attack, and just like trying to smoke a cigarette that wasn't even lit, and
Oh.
I just feel better knowing it's there.
Okay.
But I wrote down a couple things I'd like to ask y'all.
Uh-oh.
So, all right. I guess both questions, or each question, if you both have different answers or the same, whatever.
Sounds good.
Okay, so what's one of your funniest stage incidents that's happened?
Well, do you want to go first?
No, I think you go first. I need to think on that.
Okay.
I definitely don't think the heart attack is like the funniest one.
No.
Depends on who you ask. I mean, there's a lot of people that's probably happy about that, you know. So,
Is that okay that that's in there or no?
and where?
Like the recording.
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to
worries.
ask.
Oh, for me, mine happened when I was about 16 years old. It was in the very first couple of years, very scarring.
Okay.
In a funny way. So the place I was playing was in Mark Twain Lake in Missouri. This place called the Silver Dollar Opry. And the stage was about 4 feet in the air. And there were stairs going down the front of it, leading down into the crowd.
Okay.
I'm playing a fiddle tune, Orange Blossom Special, and playing that, and I get to the end, and I'm walking down the stairs, and I step too far forward on the step with my boots. Like, the only thing that went on the steps was, like, my heels. That's everything else. When my toes and my boots came forward, there was nothing under them. My heels were too far forward. And so when I came down, I just fell right into the front row of the crowd. And I fell on like a 70-year-old lady. And she was totally fine. I flipped over.
She actually got turned on a little bit when Jake fell
Just
on
a
her.
little bit.
Yeah.
I flipped over in the air and was able to land on my back, so I didn't hurt the fiddle. And miraculously, at the end of the show, a guy come up to me and was like, "Man, if they're going to have you start doing that, they need to put a mattress down there on the floor for you." So, yeah, people thought it was part of the show.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my goofiest, craziest thing.
Okay. Rob, you got anything?
Man, it's kind of on the spot. I've been sitting here thinking, like, what the hell has happened? It's funny. But I know there was one show we were playing with another artist. Jake was there, and it was after a big rodeo in Texas. And I don't know what the hell was going on that night, man, but there was just so much weird stuff going on. Like, at one point, this guy came running through the audience, streaking, naked as can be. Sound like that song.
Ray Stevens?
Yeah, has naked as can be. And,
Nicky, that's a jaybird.
Yeah, he's running through there, and then here comes cops and ambulance people, and they're chasing him. And, man, there was just so much that night. There was this bug that was flying around on stage, and it was so bad that the artist stopped and started swatting at it, and it just became this thing. So I don't know. That was pretty funny. Having the streaker, that was one to remember there.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have any funny stage incidents. Not really.
I don't know. We laughed about one of your stage incidents pretty hard.
I think 2 of them actually in the same weekend. We can laugh about it now. At the time, my dreams were crushed. I'm like, I think I lost it, dude. I do have one. I did a show. This was probably 3 years ago, and there was the place was packed, but then they all went to there was some kind of dart or pool tournament or something. They went to the other side of the building. And these 2 girls, man, I got up there and I started singing, and 2 of them rushed the stage, came sprinting up to the front. I mean, who did they have to get by? There was nobody there. But anyway, and they're looking at me like I'm a god for a second, and then they're just and just walk off, and I'm like, well, so.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't find it funny at all. I was just I had them and then I lost them. But then again, though, I mean, hell, who cares really? Yeah. No, I know that one weekend, I think it was a Friday and a Sunday at two completely different cities, 2 different shows. I forgot the lyrics to my own, or to the own lyrics that I wrote, not my own songs. They're all of our songs. We all had a part in it. But the first one was definitely the worst. Yeah, the first one was in the first like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And, which, dude, I was so off that day. I had to walk next door to Kroger and take a dump because I couldn't, the bathroom was stopped up or whatever at the place. And then it's like they always look at you weird when you walk in some like a store like that and you leave with nothing. Like they're looking at you like you stole something.
Right.
And it's like my anxiety's already through the roof at this point. And that one was definitely terrible. But because I remember when you leaned in, it was like, just sing the chorus again and get off the stage. You know?
I think we just, next time we'll have a teleprompter for you.
There we go.
I might need it for real, but honestly, I should have rehearsed. Like, because y'all gave me the option on the second one.
Right.
And I chose not to do it like an idiot.
You know, it's like when people start doing things, it's like, and I'm not saying that it's like the first time you're doing stuff, but when you're not used to the songs, first times performing things, it's always going to be a little weird. Not everything you do the first time is going to be friggin' home run.
Right.
You know? I imagine it's like jumping out of an airplane. I'd never do it, but I'd imagine the first time you did it, it'd be pretty damn scary, you know, and but then after about 5 or 6 times, you'd probably start falling in love with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally falling in love with it.
Falling in love.
But, okay, so on to something else. All right, what would be your favorite song to cover? If you had to pick one.
I don't know. I think we actually covered one of my favorite songs at the time, which is a Beartooth song, Hated. And Jake did his own cover of it, you know, and did it with the fiddles and dobros and all that stuff.
Can you find that on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, any of those things.
Cool.
But I love really heavy music, you know, and being that I have access to this guy that plays all these great roots instruments, it was really cool to mix them together. And
okay.
So, you know, right now I think that'd be my favorite. We've done it, kind of.
Okay.
For me, I really like, we recorded this one too, but Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. I really love the story of that song. Cage the Elephant tune. Yeah. So you need to check that out. I really love the story of that song.
Me and him both went to the same high school that they went to for a few years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that song just still is it's ridiculous.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, their music's great, but my girlfriend cheated on me with the lead singer, so I haven't been that big of a fan since.
That happens.
But it's not his fault, it's her fault, you know?
There you go.
Yeah.
It's my fault for even falling for the girl. Next time I'm going to fall for myself. But anyway.
Treat you right.
You can answer this or you don't have to, but what's the biggest tip you've ever got?
Oh, biggest tip. I don't know.
I think, you know, we did a wedding one time and they tipped us like pretty close to $1,000.
Yeah, I think that's about.
Yeah.
I think that was the
big
tips.
Pretty damn good.
It was. It was really surprising, and I was just kind of for real, you know, because usually people tip you some, but not like that. But they took care of us, and
cool.
We spent it very well.
Yeah.
Happy to have it. Thank you, whoever you were.
Yeah. All right, so let's have a little fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is Would You Rather. All right, so what would you say your favorite song to cover is?
I think we've already covered my favorite song because you know I'm really into this band called Beartooth, and I'm sure you know who they are.
Oh yeah.
Real. Pretty heavy, but man, I really dig on their lyrics and the energy they have. And there's a song called "Hated," and during COVID, you know, we were kind of off the road and everything, and we were thinking about something to do, and we decided to cover some of our favorite songs at the time, with Jake playing all those, you know, fiddle and dobro and all that, and
The twangy stuff.
yeah,
Right.
and so we went through Beartooth and came up with Hated that kind of fit, and I really love that song and the lyrics. So we've kind of already covered one of my favorite songs, I think. So
that'd be your favorite?
I
to
think
cover?
so at the
Yeah.
time, you know, and yeah, I thought it was pretty cool actually. So,
Okay.
Cool.
yeah.
Well, mine's one we've actually covered as well. It's a song called "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked." So we have a version of that for everybody to check out. The story of that song is just absolutely crazy, and just everything that's in it. It's really, really great message, and I enjoy playing it, and always goes over well.
That's great. Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
we kind of
So.
rocked it out a little bit as well. So yeah.
All right, so here's a good one. Would you rather, let's say you have a dream interview, right? Like
Okay.
you can be interviewed by your whoever, it doesn't matter, musician, celebrity, normal person, or it doesn't matter. Would you rather throw up during your dream interview or cry every time you hear a car beep?
Car beep? Was it mean like somebody clicked their car?
Even
Like,
that,
lock
even
it?
locking it, whatever, just like you could be just like
Hey, be
like
rude.
walking on fucking rainbows and Lucky Charms, and all of a sudden you hear that beep, it's just like, and just like you just drop.
You're a
Yeah,
really sad person.
but you only cry for like a minute,
So, but you could throw up during your dream interview.
and that only happens one time ever, and you're done. Yep.
Is there any stipulation? Like, is it just like in a trash can near?
No. You're sitting just like this, whatever, and all of a sudden they're asking you a question. You just, bleh, just.
I'd still probably do that because then I'd have a
Yeah.
really great story to tell the next person who's interviewing.
Yeah, and they'd remember that too. They're like, remember that one guy, Jake, that threw up while we were interviewing him? And I ain't never seen that.
I just have to say this: I threw up on the tour manager in Norway already. So
Really?
I've already
Yeah.
done that. Yeah.
Oh, is that how y'all got the hoodie?
Oh, I did get that in Norway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brought that back.
And it was such a small 3X that
European
passed it
size.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, we got on a Norwegian transportation system in the morning, and the roads are really windy, and we got there late and played late, didn't really have any food. There wasn't anywhere for us to eat after the show, and went straight to bed and woke up the next morning, and the only thing that we had food-wise there was pickled herring,
What is herring again?
fish,
Okay.
or cherries that were off a tree. So I just grabbed a couple of cherries. And
For real?
Yeah, just tossed them down, and they're delicious. But apparently, I'm allergic to red number 40.
Me too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's one of the sources where it's from. So without anything in my stomach, it made me yak. So like 20 minutes down the road in Norway, we're driving through these windy roads at like 5 in the morning, and I just stand up like a deer in the headlights and just right on the tour manager. But thankfully, there was nothing in my stomach but 3 cherries and a bottle of water, so we're all good.
Well, normally you think it would be the pickled herring.
I
That
didn't
would
eat the
make you
pickled
throw up.
herring.
I know, and what's weird is maybe you should have had, you know,
I'm
but
nothing.
you
to,
ate cherries and threw up.
Some
so
people love it, and it's amazing.
It's almost like a no-win situation.
It was definitely a no-win
kinda.
situation, especially
Yeah.
for the tour manager.
Yeah, he got the worst of it.
He did.
I mean,
Sorry,
I'd rather
Joey.
throw up than be thrown up on. So
Yeah. So yeah, throw up
yeah.
Yeah.
in my interview.
I've got a quick story about that, but
Tell us.
probably shouldn't say it. It was not my fault. I got put on I was on some weird antibiotics and stuff, and my body just didn't want. Right. There was I'm trying to think of the proper term now to call them learning disabled. You know, like special needs type. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And they had our desks in pods, like threes, like it was 2 and in 1, and it was right after lunch, and this poor girl is sitting there, whatever, and it's reading time, we're supposed to be reading. This was in the 3rd grade, and I just out of nowhere, just exorcism vomited just all over her, dude. And the school, man, the school was dude, I hated those schools up there. Hated them. Like they were like boot camps and stuff, but they wasn't. Like they were public schools, but they act like you have to be 3 squares from the wall, all in single file. Like they treated us like military. It was ridiculous. Right. But they like put all of her stuff in a garbage bag, whatever. It's like, you take that home to your mother and you gotta wash it, and did it. I'm like,
you had to wash her clothes?
Clothes, books, backpack, all that kind of stuff.
Dang.
Like, which I mean, if they had needed that, like her personal stuff, sure, but the school property, don't y'all pay janitors for that? Like, but anyway, I felt so bad. But then her and her brother ended up getting in a fight on my front porch on it was a snow day, and it went from me hanging out with them to them getting into like a physical altercation with snowballs and then like actual fists, and we ended up just locking the door, just like, go home, so wanted no part of it. But
I think sometimes people ask you, what would you want your one superpower to be, if you could have a superpower. And I think like vomiting on somebody, like a projectile, like across the room, you could like just and just puke in their face. Yeah. I think that would be my superpower. Be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it'd make them go away. It'd shut them up.
Yeah, really. It's like, might blind them a little bit.
Now I have that answer to that long question I've had for years.
What is your superpower?
What's Rob's superpower?
I puke on people.
Man.
4 or 5 people every day.
Try to stop that shit. They ain't no.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard anyone say their superpower would be
puking
projectile puking on people.
Yeah, I just thought about it. Like, it seems pretty cool now.
Shit, I'm sure. What was that girl's name? Emily Rose, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I think she had that superpower. Yeah. I mean, well, probably not just her, but whatever was calling the shots that day. Anyway. So good to know. Please just don't start puking at me.
Yes.
But okay.
Well, I wouldn't puke on other superheroes, so
I don't know what mine would be. I really have no idea what mine would be. I think reading people. Like, I think I read people pretty damn good. Like, I can read vibes like pretty good. Not as good as you, but pretty good. But I think if I could, what I would do? My superpower would be invisible. I would want to go into different places and just see what's going on without
the cloak of invisibility.
Without like that fly on the wall. No one know that I'm even there. Right. But I'm still getting to see and, all that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, at first, when I was a teenager, it was kind of for like skeevy type reasons. I was like, oh gosh, that girl's so hot. I want to go in her bedroom and just, but nowadays I don't have that problem because I just straight up ask,
Okay.
I don't have to wish to be the fly on the wall anymore. I can just be like, they're like, who are you again? It's like, hell yeah, whatever. It's like, I was drunk when I sent it. Sorry. But,
well, okay. That's good superpower. I think
invisibility would be, dude, the shit that you could find out and stuff. Yeah. It'd be really cool. Like, I'd go into like government spots and everything and just sit in the room and just be like, what are they really talking about? Or like, I'd probably get so bored though and go into like a gas station in the middle of nowhere and just be like, what are these guys talking about tonight? And probably nothing, but
yeah. Would you scare them too? Like, slide beer bottles across the bar or something, like, like a ghost.
Me being me, I'd have to mess with them in some. What I think I'd do? I would never physically mess with them. I would like rearrange stuff. Like, I would take things off the walls and like put it on other walls, or like mess, like make them go crazy.
Yeah,
I think that's what I would do. What would you do?
Well, when they stand up, move their chair, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'd just be really funny.
What would Jake do?
WWJD.
That was a question.
What would my superpower be? Is that what you were asking?
You're a little late to the party, but yeah.
Okay, my superpower, I already have it. Be able to play any instrument that I want.
What would you want to play that you can't already play?
Man, I really don't have anything.
I don't know.
There are instruments that I want that I don't have.
Don't
one,
you want to play a penny whistle?
I have a penny whistle that I can play, but I don't
Not
ever get a
very
chance
good.
to practice it because he hates the dang thing so much.
Really?
Yeah, and those things carry forever, so there's nowhere I can play it that he's not hearing it. But yeah.
Yeah, he's mad talented, but penny whistle is I don't know, man. It's like a dog whistle or something, but annoying dog whistle.
That was a big thing in like the 50s and 60s, right? Or like the 40s and 50s?
Penny whistle would have been stuff from like way earlier. Would have been, like 1800s and stuff. It's all
really? It's that
traditional
old?
Irish
Okay.
music, Celtic. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about that long. It's a little kind of.
Okay. I'm thinking of something else then.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a damn weenie whistle from, I think, Christmas Story.
Weenie
Where they have
whistle.
the little
Weenie whistle.
yeah. Dude, that is a dream of mine. I've never told this, I don't think out loud or anything. I don't think I've ever told you all this, but you can rent the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile now.
Okay.
My dream in this world was to ever see it driving by, whatever you'd hear when it was coming through your
seen
town
it,
or
yeah.
whatever. You've seen it?
I have several times
Dude,
out on the road.
I've never seen it, but I've seen like pictures of the inside, whatever. My dream is to like we spent the day in that transit van, whatever, in
Yeah.
Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Is to do the same thing, but in the Weenie
Weenie-mobile.
Mobile, dude.
Yeah.
I want to do that so bad.
I could see you riding by in the weenie mobile and
Yeah,
honking
dude.
the horn and
I would be so proud. Like you'd never see me just as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed if I was in the Weenie Mobile. Dude, I would go sober for a straight. I couldn't say a year. I wouldn't go sober. I would do a solid 6 months of no substance whatsoever just to spend the night in the Weenie Mobile.
You could buy the Weenie Mobile at that point.
I know. And it'd almost be funny if you
As much money as I'd save.
yeah. I don't know, maybe you driving the Weenie Mobile drunk would be even funnier, like there goes Griffin drunk in the Weenie Mobile again.
Dude.
Again?
If I ever get to that status, man, I've achieved all my goals. I feel like I've pleased any god that could ever exist. I feel like I've pleased whatever's below. It's like, just leave the guy alone. He's drunk in a Weenie Mobile.
Yeah.
Who is he harming?
It's kind of like
all
George
he
Jones
ever-
on the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Just like
Exactly.
That's all he ever wanted was the Weenie Mobile.
Them damn weenie whistles, man.
And I just remember from Santa Claus, the stepdad Neil, played by Judge Reinhold. That's all he wanted was the weenie whistle, and then at the
That's what it was. That's
the
what
end
it was
of the movie,
from. Yeah.
they drop it. Santa Claus drops it out of the the
Oh, and
sleigh,
he he's like,
comes
oh, weenie whistle.
Weenie whistle.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You
Okay.
could get buried in a weenie casket.
Dude, I had a casket joke the other day, but I'll save that for a different podcast. But
Okay.
now to hell with it. I'll just tell you. So I've got a character now. He's like an extreme hypochondriac.
Okay.
Anytime he gets like a weird bump or feels like a weird whatever, he has bought his own personal casket that he keeps at his house. So like he thinks he's dying all the time from like nothing. So like he gets a new pimple. He's like, well, it's all over, and just goes and crawls in his own casket and shuts the lid. And like, I think it's funny.
He might
But-
be a vampire.
Could be. You never know.
Could be. All right, here's a good one. Would you rather drink Would you rather drink nothing but beer for 2 straight days and you can't eat? You have you're living on beer.
Liquid bread.
Or eat nothing but edibles for 2 days. And that's all you eat. Like you get nothing else. It's either straight beer for 2 days or straight edibles for 2 days.
Well, I'll give you the scientific explanation there. Is that if you're eating edibles without food, you're not really going to feel much of anything because there's no fat or alcohol involved. So drinking, because that way you would at least feel something from the alcohol you're drinking.
Oh, for sure. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And I know it's I'm trying not to anymore, but I mean, it's no secret
Sure.
that I've been on a few benders, too many, and yeah.
As long as you're trying.
Rob, what would you do?
I don't know. I think I would go for the edibles because when I get hungry, I get like hangry, like really mean and agitated. So if I got something to eat, and plus it would give me a buzz, I think I'd do that because the beer might get to me after a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't think you would feel the edibles though without food or alcohol.
Yeah, I don't either. I think after a while it would just kind of cancel itself out. You already got it in your system.
Yeah.
I think the beer would be probably more fun.
Now, I'll tell you this, now that we say this, if it's brownies, which I guess that's technically an edible.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, that does have, fat.
Eat brownies for
anything-
2 days. That's
I mean, dude, it can be nachos, pizza, like whatever, like anything that you can eat that is infused.
I'm pretty sure there was a December somewhere that all I ate was brownies, so I'm sure that we can do, I'll do that for 2 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going with the beer, man.
Yeah?
I'm totally, dude. I can't hang on edibles. I go straight to sleep. And then I wake up in a full-blown panic, and I'm like, you're not dying, but it sure as hell feels like you are dying, And it's, man, I convince myself I'm some kind of fish or frog when I'm staring at the mirror for like 30 minutes, and I was just like, you're not even a real person. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And start doing all this stuff, so.
A fish or a frog.
But then again, drugs have nothing to do with the way I am. I've never been normal. I've been like this since day one. I think all the stuff that I've done over the years have just helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so drugs kind of make you normal,
I think so.
The more you know.
See? They're good.
But, okay, so cool. Okay, this is a good one right here. Would you rather go back to any period of time for a day? It can be, you could go back to your senior year in high school. You can go back to 900, right? Or hear what people are thinking for a day.
So it's basically Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or What Women Want.
I guess so.
Are you safe if you go back in time? Or
You are safe. You could even be unseen if you wanted. It could be like that. Do you see what I just did? I went to adjust my glasses and I'm not wearing them. It could be like that. What is that movie, The Ghosts of Christmas Past or whatever, where they take them around, they see what it'd be like
Christmas
if they wasn't.
Yeah, we just
Something.
watched that.
We did.
Yeah.
So you could be like that, where you could go and just see everything and not even be seen. So I didn't think about that when I wrote the question.
I think that
That'd kind of be like your superpower, though. You'd be invisible.
I guess, yeah,
In a
true.
way.
Okay, so let's change it. You are seen, but you're a part of that. But you're you, but you're not dressed like you. You're dressed.
you blend in.
Yes, you're dressed as however they did.
I think that I would do that. I would go back to and just pick a really cool time and go check it out for a day because everybody has got so much stuff on their plate. Everybody is always, their minds are always racing. I think it would absolutely be exhausting to just 100% hear.
Like Bruce Almighty or something.
Just
You
like-
seen that movie where it's just you're
I mean,
hearing
I've got enough people in my head talking to me already. I don't need other.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
And plus, how many people do you really want to know what they're thinking? I mean, there may be a few, but are you going to be able to pick those people?
May lose my faith in humanity at that point.
I've already, if you still can at this point.
I feel like you'd probably think like you could never go back to normal. Even like your own friends and shit, if you were hanging around them and you just we're sitting around a room, everybody's watching TV, and you could hear what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would really want that.
Yeah.
No.
Because there could be some pretty bad thoughts going on.
They're just, dude, if people heard what the hell's going through my brain all the time, most of it would be funny.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's extremely dark, stuff that I
Right.
I wish never crossed through my brain. And then, some of it's just stupid as hell. It's where's my beer? I thought I had a beer. Where's my beer? You know, it's like just like it's like what cats are out. You know, did I leave the door cracked? Did I do this? Like, but all right. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question, right? Meow. Okay.
All right.
Okay, this is fun. Two-parted question. If you
Who
don't,
parted?
And he's gone, y'all.
So if you could be in any movie and TV show, what would it be?
Wow. Movie and or just one or the other?
You can answer one or the other, or you can do both.
Man, a TV show, I always thought it'd be cool, you know, to be a South Park character. So,
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I would like to be a South Park character. And if it was a movie, it might be something like Mortal Kombat, so I could just like be all badass and kick people's ass for a little bit.
Okay.
You know, so yeah. That's my answer.
Okay.
Okay. So, TV show. Man, I've always I would love to go as kind of your, you know, go back in time slightly, but Mythbusters.
Okay.
I would love to be on Mythbusters. I thought that was an amazing freaking show. All the
Yeah.
cool concepts. I love science. I love every aspect of that. Another movie. I think it'd be cool to see myself as an Avatar character.
Really?
Yeah, a big blue Avatar person. Look like the genie from Aladdin.
Okay.
Would you be underwater? Or
I
out
don't
of
know.
water?
The newest one's about fire. Maybe I be in a tree or something. The flames out of my hands. Who knows?
I'd say for me, dude, TV show easily The Office.
Yeah.
If that was a real, like, I mean, I know Scranton, Pennsylvania is real, but if that
I'm
was
sure you like that show, man.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. But if that was real, I would 100% go there and apply for a job.
Yeah.
Like I would, yes, The Office for me, and then movie would, that'd probably be. You know what? I would say The Birdcage, dude.
Hey.
Seriously, living South Beach, just like everything, you can walk
Great
to
music all the
everything.
time.
Yeah, there's always a party. Like it's never just dead or anything. Yeah, I mean, The Birdcage is my all-time favorite movie anyway. So
It's a great movie.
yeah,
It's
it really
good.
is.
Yeah.
And that's dude, Robin Williams killed in that.
Yeah.
That was Nathan Lane, Gene Hackman. That was
Man,
dude. People sleep on that these days, but like that movie is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is written so well that, and then the people they got to play the characters too, like Gene Hackman crawling down a ladder, sneaking in and out of his house, you know, and stuff. Like,
yeah,
dude,
he
that's
was perfect
insane.
for that role. He
Gene
definitely
Hackman in
was.
The blue dress with the shoulder pads and the wig.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, when he snuck out as a drag
yeah.
queen, yeah, dude, that was great. And he started singing what's that damn song?
We Are Family.
Oh yeah, I got all my sisters in me. Yeah, dude. And it was funny too at the end of that movie. The driver, when he's like, you know, Gene Hackman was like, "Hey, pick me up around the corner, whatever." He's he's like, "Lady, not for $1 million." You know, dude, I thought that was so funny, but
Yeah, classic.
that is a classic movie. Okay, so what would your dream collab be as far as songs? If you could collab, and this could be a two-parted question. It could be alive and dead or just overall, but your dream collab. You can make a song with anyone that's ever existed or currently existed. Or you can pick both.
I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Collab. Man, that's a very interesting. The person who first caught my attention with the fiddle is the fiddle player for Garth Brooks, Jimmy Mattingly. I would love to do a song with him.
Okay.
That's a collaboration I would absolutely love to do eventually down the road.
Okay.
So there's There's
which
my
is
answer.
probably very doable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, should make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it had to be something that, like, totally off the wall. Like, I named my dog after this singer called Diamanda Galas. She's like this opera singer gone bad. I don't think she's gone bad, but it's really dark and it's really scary and it scares people away. You put it on, they freak out. But something about it's always like hit home for me. I don't know. I get it, so I think it'd be cool to do something with her because it's just crazy. And we all need a little bit of craziness in our life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, man, for me, that is so hard. I think if it was living, I would have to say Blink-182 for sure. I would have to go that route. I mean, if it was country, I'd say Hank Jr. But But overall, I would have to go with Blink. And if for deceased people, man, I think it'd be really, really cool to make a song with Jim Morrison. I think that'd be
absolutely
either him or like Jimi Hendrix, dude. You know how crazy of a time you would have creating with somebody like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be so bizarre. It's like, are we even making music anymore? Are we like creating something?
Well, at that
way
point,
bigger,
you might be dead. So it would be like, what is going on right now?
That's how I feel every day of my life.
Dead.
Yeah.
Maybe we are.
Half the time, I don't think any of this is real.
It's all a simulation.
Here's the thought though.
Yeah.
Since we are coming to a wrap up here, have you ever had the thought come through your mind of, what if your dreams are real life and all this is an actual dream? Like, what if none of this is actually real, but when we're dreaming, like unconscious, or I guess we are conscious in a way, but what if that's the real thing?
Well, neither one of them makes sense. So
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's definitely food for thought, man. It's really interesting.
That's I do want to shout out something I've watched that I think Rob, I texted you about this. There's a show called Severance. It'll make you think more than any show I've ever watched in my life.
Okay.
Really?
It is just as interesting as it is almost depressing. It really, really makes you think. Like it's one of those things, like, don't watch it if you're trying to catch a buzz or anything like that, because you're going to lose it. It's what I was telling him is, like, it's the most sobering thing I've ever watched in my life. It's definitely worth the watch.
Sounds
for
interesting.
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Severance.
Okay.
It's
Just sounds like somebody getting their head cut off.
Well, see, I thought it was going to be some silly office show of like people getting a severance payout, getting fired or something. But it's not that. Trust me, like, you can't explain it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're not paying me, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But check it out; it's good. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so, y'all got anything in the works, man? What's coming up for y'all?
I've got a new single coming out. Be out the beginning of February, and you can check that all out on my website.
February the 3rd.
February the 3rd, jakeclayton.com. So you can check it out there, and we have a album coming out with all the remaining songs that we haven't released yet. You can check all those out. Get them from the same place: Spotify, Apple iTunes, all those things.
Yeah, that sounded good. Good job. And we're also got some shows coming up. We're getting ready to go do a showcase for some talent buyers.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
In
we're looking forward to
Burlington, Iowa.
that. Burlington Memorial Auditorium.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So just hustling, doing that grind.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got new merch out?
We do have some things that you can check those out at my website, jakeclayton.com. We've got some things that will be posted up there soon, like
Yeah.
new hats.
It's on his head right now.
Yeah.
Koozies.
koozies,
Stuff like that.
and T-shirts,
Puzzles.
and jewelry.
Puzzles.
Pretty
yeah.
interesting. I've never seen
Yeah.
people do puzzles before. So
Yeah, puzzles is cool. It's really hard too.
it is
Kinda-
extremely hard.
Yeah, it kind of pisses you off a little bit, But I think if it was easy, why would you want to do it?
Right.
So it's definitely for a challenging time.
Yeah.
The Jake Clayton puzzle.
Well, that's it puzzles me, man. So, guys, thank y'all so much for coming through.
Yes, sir.
This has been a blast, and good luck on all everything that y'all are about to be doing and putting out. And we'll have to do this again sometime.
Yeah, we're
Sounds
excited
good.
to be on episode 1
Yeah.
of Home with Griff, and I do
Episode
like
1.
that. It's
And so, guys, this has been At Home with Griff with Jake Clayton and Rob Daniels. Till next time,
Peace.
stay saucy.